All right, part 2. I just proved to you all the different precepts in the Torah and the Masoretic text, and I also proved to you in the Septuagint also, which is just one of the manuscripts that most of these Israelites, and particularly all these different One West camps, all these One Westers coming out of that school of thought want to stay away from. And one of the reasons why they want to stay away from the Septuagint is because the Septuagint pretty much cuts right into all the doctrine and all the lies, 99.9% of all the lies that they are spewing out there and teaching. You dig what I'm saying? Which is the reason why they totally reject the Septuagint. But they'll go and quote other books, such as the book of Jasher, which was written in the 1800s, which the original book of Jasher don't even exist anymore, to making it seem as if it supersedes the Septuagint, which is another lie, but that's a whole other topic, a whole other subject matter. So I'm going to go back to Job 1:1. It says, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and that feared the Most High, and that eschewed evil. So a lot of these Israelites also saying the reason why Job, even though I already crushed it in part 1, but the reason why Job was an Israelite is because he feared the Most High. He was perfect and he kept the Torah. He walked with the Most High. He acknowledged the Creator of Israel. And we're going to prove to you that there is such thing as the Gentiles or non-Israelites serving the Most High. So I'm going to go all the way in the book of Genesis, right? 5:22, right? It says, and Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years, and he begot sons and daughters. So it says that Enoch also walked with the Most High. Enoch was a righteous man who also kept the Torah and also acknowledged the God of Israel. And Enoch was not an Israelite. So that's a false statement for all you cats to be running around that there's no such thing as a righteous Gentile, or the Gentiles cannot keep the Torah or acknowledge the Most High. I'm going to go to, let's see. I'm going to go with Noah. It says, these are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect also. It says that Job was perfect and Noah was also perfect, and his generations, and Noah walked also with the Most High. But Noah was not an Israelite, but it says that he was also perfect in his eyesight. And he also acknowledged the Most High. He also acknowledged the God of Israel. There goes another non-Israelite who also kept the Torah and kept the ordinances of Yahweh. So all y'all niggas be lying, strictly lying on the Torah. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going to go to another precept. It says, and when Abraham was 90 years old and 9, Yahweh appeared to Abraham and said unto him, I am Almighty thy power, walk before me, and be thou what? Perfect. You see? And I'm going to go to Genesis 26. Let's see. Genesis 26 and 5 in regards of Abraham. Genesis 26 and 5. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge and my commandments and my statutes and my laws. Abraham was not an Israelite. Abraham was not an Israelite, but he was also perfect, and he walked in the spirit of the Creator, in the spirit of Yah. Enoch was not an Israelite. Noah was not an Israelite. Abraham was not an Israelite, but they all kept the Torah. This is how you know that all you camps out there, you be lying on the Torah by only saying that only Israelites can be righteous and acknowledge the Most High. Because these niggas do not study and read the Torah. You see that? I'm going to show you another example. I'm going to go to the book of Exodus. Alright, so this is Exodus 18. When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that the Most High had done, so he knew of the Most High, Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, right? And he was a Midianite. He was a Midianite. He was not an Israelite. Let me start. It says, when Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard all of that the Most High had done for Moses and for Israel, his people, and that the Lord had brought Israel out of the land of Egypt, then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back. So like I said before, all these cats are running around saying that the Israelites are only perfect and they're the only ones who can acknowledge the Most High, thy power. But over here we just read a scripture that Jethro acknowledged Yahweh, the God of Israel. And there's not any precepts in Torah in which you're going to find out that Jethro was wicked, man. Because he also walked with the Most High. And he also acknowledged the Most High God of Israel. I'm going to go to the book of, let's see. I'm going to go to the book of Joshua. Joshua 6:25. And Joshua saved Rahab, the harlot, alive, and her father's household. Joshua saved Rahab, the harlot, and her household, and all that she had. And she dwelleth in Israel even unto this day, because she hid the messengers which Joshua sent spy out to Jericho. But because she hid all of the messengers at that particular time, she and her household were saved, and they all dwelt in a household of Israel at that particular moment or at that particular time. They cleave unto the house of Israel, and they also kept the Torah. So I don't know what the hell all you cats be sitting out there running around talking about that the Gentiles of the nations cannot serve the God of Israel, or they cannot be righteous. That's a falsehood and lie. So how much more in regards of Job? Job was an Edomite who served the Most High. Job was a righteous Edomite. You see? Let's see. I'm going to go in the book of, let's see, of Exodus. I'm going to show y'all something right now. Exodus 12:48, and it says, and a stranger, the strangers are non-Israelites, shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover. So the strangers are also allowed to keep the Passover, right? To the Lord, and let all the mans be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it, and he shall be as one that is born in the land. And for uncircumcised person, and no uncircumcised person shall eat the Passover. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you, which represent the other nations. And it's not talking about Israelites. And the reason for that being is because the stranger did not have the law of circumcision. Only the Israelites had the law of circumcision. So I'm going to hold that. And I'm going to show it to y'all right now. Because there's another lie running around. Now, some of the strangers in the Torah were also the Israelite foreigners. Leviticus 12:1. And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman have conceived seed, and born a male child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, according to the days of her separation. For her infirmity shall be unclean. And in the 8th day, the foreskin, and in the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. So we already had the law of circumcision. So when we read about those strangers in the book of Exodus, the 12th chapter, verse 40 and verse 49, that was dealing with the strangers in regards to them keeping the Passover and also acknowledging the God of Israel. So that's a falsehood that only Israelites can be holy, righteous, and acknowledge Yahweh. That's a lie. I'm going to Leviticus 19, 20, and 33. It says, And if a stranger sojourn with thee in your land, ye shall not vex him. But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and I shall love him as thyself, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am Yahweh thy power. So all the strangers that were sojourning among us, they were all under the auspices of the Torah. They were all under the auspices of the constitution of the Torah. So we had no other obligations but to love them, being the fact that it was keeping and following the Torah, and it was being also perfect in the eyesight of the Most High. You see? So how much more in regards of Job being another stranger? And what it is, because all you cats out there are not reading the Torah. You're not coming out of precept, you're not coming out of scriptures. I'm going to go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 55 verse, let's see. Isaiah 56 and 6, and it says, Also the sons of the stranger that join themselves to whom? See the Lord. That's dealing with the other nations, to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, of Yahweh, to be his servants, every one that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenant. You see that? Here goes another perfect example on how the Gentiles are to serve and are going to serve the Most High when that time comes. I'm going to go to another precept. Let's see, I'm looking at my notes right now. It says, I'm going to go to the book of 1 Kings now. There's too many lies being taught in all these camps that's out, and all these different camps that's out there. And they the man wants to bring all this different confusion all over Israel. I'm going to go to 1 Kings 8, and I'm going to start off like around 41. And it says, Moreover, concerning a stranger that is not of thy people Israel, but cometh out of a far country for thy name's sake, for they shall hear of thy great name, and of thy strong hand, and of thy stretched out arm, when he shall come and pray towards this house. Hear thou in heaven and dwell in place, and do according to all that the stranger calleth for thee, for that all the people of the earth may know thy name, to fear thee as do thy people Israel, that they may know that this house which I have builded is called by thy name. If thy people go out to battle against their enemy, whichsoever thou shalt send them, and shall pray unto Yahweh towards the city which thou hast chosen, and towards the house that I have built for thy city. So you could clearly see that the Gentiles can serve the Most High, that the Gentile nations can also be righteous in the eyesight of the Creator. and keep the Torah and acknowledge the God of Israel. All right, so I'm going to go in the book of Ruth. Let's see. Ruth chapter 3, verse 11. And it says, "And now, my daughter, fear not. I will do to thee all that requires. For all the city of my people don't know that thou art a virtuous woman." Now, Ruth, I know you got a lot of these clowns out there also teaching that Ruth was an Israelite. You teaching that the strangers were Israelites. Ruth was an Israelite. But clearly, that would probably be another video for another time. But you clearly see that Ruth was the only woman in the scripture who was known or called virtuous. And she was not even an Israelite. You see that? Let's see. You see? So I'm going to go to my last precept right now. I mean, there's a whole lot more precepts that I could go into, but I just want to give you like a few premises to show you on how the Edens can keep the Torah. They can also acknowledge the God of Israel. And in the kingdom, they're going to have no other obligation and no other choices but to keep our constitution, which is Torah. Now, I'm going to look at Ezekiel. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes right now. Ezekiel 47 and 22. It says, Ezekiel 47 and 22, "And it shall come to pass that ye shall divide it by lot for an inheritance unto you, and to the strangers that sojourned among you." So strangers are going to be sojourning among us in Israel, which shall beget children. They're going to beget children among us, and they shall be unto you as born in a country among the children of Israel. They shall have an inheritance among the tribes of Israel. So all the strangers, you're going to have certain strangers, they're going to be living among us, they're going to beget children among us, and they're also going to have an inheritance. And it shall come to pass that in what tribe the stranger sojourned, there ye shall give him his inheritance, saith the Lord. And all these strangers who are going to be sojourning among us, when the government of the Most High is established, they're all going to keep the Torah. They're going to acknowledge, like I said before, over and over again, the God of Israel. And they're going to keep Torah. So how much more in regard of Job? Him not, quote unquote, being an Israelite. That's madness. Job was not an Israelite. He was not a Syrian. He was an Edomite, a righteous Edomite, and he was a man of color. He was black, a so-called black man. So with that, I'm signing out. I'd like to say all praises due to Yahweh. Shalom.